When serving a coffee plunger, the approach and the technique is very similar to that when we serve tea. Remember, the concepts are the same. We're going to take something that is very, very hot and we're going to put it on the guest's table. We're then going to take an empty cup, milk jug and sugar and place it in front of a guest. So the technique and the approach needs to be very specific. Let's have a look at how we serve a coffee plunger to a guest. Now, the first thing that we need to do is get the coffee plunger off the tray as quickly as possible. Now, the reason why we do this first is because, number one, it's the most dangerous item that I'm carrying on that we're carrying on the tray. And number two, it's going to be the heaviest. So as soon as that is relieved from the tray, it makes our job of serving from the tray much easier. The next item we're going to place on the table is the milk jug, as that is the second most dangerous item that we have on our tray. It's filled with liquid. It's often hot milk or cold milk. Remember that when we put it down, we face the handle or the ear on the right-hand side. Everything that we put down on the table will be facing right because we assume that guests are right-handed, and when they are using these items, it's easier for them to pick them up if the handle is facing right. The next thing we place down is going to be the sugar bowl. The sugar bowl will be placed down, and if necessary, we remove the covering of the sugar bowl off so that the guest can see their sugar. Sometimes you will have sugar bowls that are existing on the table. That's absolutely fine. Just remember to tell the guest and direct them to the white sugar, the brown sugar, the muscovado sugar, the caster sugar, or the sweetener if necessary. The last thing that we put down from the tray is the cup. Now, the cup obviously should have the ear facing the right-hand side, the teaspoon above it also facing right. The final step in this coffee plunger service is to then plunge the coffee. Now, we do this by putting our hand on top of the plunger and pushing it down. The reason why we do this in this case is we are saying to the guest that we have mixed it back of house, it is brewed sufficiently, and now it is time to plunge the coffee and it is ready for the guest to consume. And then what the guest would do is they would start to serve themselves. Watch how easy it is for me to serve if all of the items that I need are in the correct position. Can you imagine if we had put them down like that, and the coffee cup is there? Then a guest would need to move the cup in place, grab the handle, move it around, do they pour with the left hand, do they pour with the right hand? It doesn't show professional service if we place things around the table in a disorganized way. Placing it down like this shows a guest that we are thinking of their comfort and their needs, and is a wonderful, wonderful way to show that you are professional in your service. Now, when deciding how to position your items on a tray, first thing we got to think about is the weight distribution and the balance of a tray. Now, in this case, if we've got something that is very heavy and very hot, we need to make sure that it is very easily accessible. If you are right-handed, make sure that all of the handles of the items are facing to the right. It makes it much easier to remove from your tray and shows that you are organized and professional. In this case, you can see that the filter coffee is facing right. It is close to the center of the tray, so it is going to be less of a problem in terms of balance. Once it is removed, I can then have access to the milk jug, which is set up in a clockwise direction, because in this case, it is the easiest way for me to serve from the tray. So let's have a look at what order I will serve from this tray. I will first remove the coffee plunger and place it down on the table. The next thing I will remove is the milk jug, and as you can see, because it is facing right, it is easy for me to gain access to it. The next thing that I will remove from the tray is the sugar bowl, again very easily accessible. And lastly, I will place down the cup. It is light and easy for me to move.
Let's have a recap of the steps. Step 1. Remove your coffee plunger from the tray, as it is the heaviest and most dangerous item on your tray. Step 2. Place the milk jug down on the table with the handle facing the guest's right hand. Step 3. Place the sugar bowl down on the table and remove the lid if there is one. Step 4. Set the cup, saucer and teaspoon down on the table. This is the last item as it is light and easy to move. Position it in the correct way for the guest's easy reach, with the ear of the cup and the handle of the teaspoon facing the guest's right hand. Step 5. Ask your guest if they would like you to plunge their coffee for them. And if they say yes, plunge it all the way down to the bottom. Finally, step 6. Invite your guest to enjoy their freshly brewed coffee. Well done!